Okay, here we are in Kewaskum, Wisconsin at the 9/11 memorial event, and I'm with your name.
Julie Henneberry.
Julie, thank you so much for coming today. It was just a great event. Maybe give a little backstory of those that don't know you. How were you involved in the connection with the 9/11?
I am the daughter of Lieutenant Peter Lewis Freund of Engine Company 55, who died in the North Tower on September 11, 2001.
Well, let's hear about him. Could you give a little stories about your dad?
My dad was a firefighter veteran of 22 years. I grew up in Westtown, New York with my two other siblings. My dad was heavily involved in our lives, youth sports. He loved the Grateful Dead. He liked kicking back and having a beer. He loved astronomy.
So then that day he was called in to go into the North Tower, is that correct?
So he was already working. So he was working the morning of Tuesday, September 11, 2001. So he actually was close to getting off his shift. Engine Company 55 responded to a gas leak near the World Trade Center shortly before 9 a.m. And then they abandoned the gas leak and went directly to the World Trade Center.
And then I think you said he went, 30 flights?
He went... But he was last seen on the 26th floor of the World Trade Center. So the last person to live and tell a story said they saw him on the 26th floor.
Well, you talked a great part of your speech was talking about grief, that everybody goes through. How did you get it from that day up until now?
So it's been a really long journey. So my childhood and adolescence, I really didn't grow up in an environment where I could find my own grief and come to terms with it for me. So I left the state of New York and I moved to Wisconsin on September 12, 2013. And then I just kind of went about, my early 20s, but took me becoming a parent to realize I didn't want to create generational trauma onto my son and to come to terms with what I was thinking and feeling and try to find answers to the questions I had about what happened to my dad.
You're a great speaker. Did you speak at other events?
So I did take part in the Milwaukee Fire Department's annual reading of the names, and I did speak to them as well. So I did the same speech this morning. But other than practicing with my dog, this is the first time other people have heard it.
Well, you did a great job, and I loved how you ended it. Your quote, which I'll quote for you, it says, "Nobody should ever abandon it."
You can't abandon people in need.
That I will quote from here on out because that is just absolutely terrific. And what did you think of the event and the memorial?
Oh my gosh, I'm on the board. Oh. So I'm on the Wisconsin 9/11 boards. They do a great job, and we're on to bigger and better things, making a museum and educational center.
I love that announcement. I'm going to talk to Fuzz about that. Yeah. That's absolutely terrific. Julie, I want to thank you so much for coming to this event. It was a very emotional and meaningful event. Thank you so much for telling us today.
Thank you.